Hey there, welcome to Taste Adventures. Today, we're going to explore one of the world's most extraordinary fruits, a tropical treasure that's captivated people for centuries. I'm talking about the mangosteen, often called the queen of fruits. Now, you might be wondering why a fruit would earn such a regal title. By the end of our time together, I think you'll understand. We'll journey from the humid rainforests of Southeast Asia to modern laboratories, uncovering the history, science, and cultural significance of this remarkable fruit. The mangosteen, scientifically known as Garcinia mangostana, is a tropical fruit native to Southeast Asia. It's about the size of a tangerine, with a thick, deep purple rind that's tough and leathery to the touch. But crack open that protective shell, and you'll discover something magical. Snow-white segments of fruit that look almost like garlic cloves, but taste like nothing else on earth. People describe the flavor as a complex blend of sweet and tangy, with notes of peach, strawberry, and citrus all mingling together. The texture is soft, juicy, and melts in your mouth. Queen Victoria of England was so intrigued by descriptions of this fruit that she reportedly offered knighthood to anyone who could bring her fresh mangosteens. While that story might be apocryphal, it speaks to the fruit's legendary status. The mangosteen tree itself is equally impressive. It's an evergreen that can grow up to 25 feet tall, with thick, glossy leaves and delicate pink flowers. But here's the catch. These trees are incredibly finicky. They require very specific conditions to thrive. Mangosteen trees are the divas of the fruit world. They demand hot, humid tropical climates with consistent rainfall throughout the year. They can't tolerate drought, they can't handle cold, and they absolutely refuse to grow in poor soil. This is why mangosteens have remained primarily confined to Southeast Asia, particularly Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. But the challenges don't stop there. Mangosteen trees are excruciatingly slow to mature. From planting to the first harvest, you're looking at 8 to 15 years. That's longer than it takes to raise a child to high school. And even then, the yields are unpredictable. Some years are abundant, others are sparse, and there's no reliable way to predict which will be which. The fruits themselves are delicate. That thick rind might look protective, but mangosteens bruise easily, and once damaged, they deteriorate quickly. This makes them extremely difficult to transport and export. For decades, fresh mangosteens were simply unavailable in places like the United States, not because of lack of interest, but because of agricultural restrictions and the practical impossibility of getting them to market in good condition. Despite all these challenges, people remain fascinated by mangosteens, and with good reason. These fruits are nutritional powerhouses, packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. A single serving of mangosteen provides a good dose of vitamin C, which supports immune function and skin health. It contains B vitamins, including folate, which is essential for cell division and DNA synthesis. The fruit also provides important minerals like potassium and magnesium. But what really sets mangosteen apart is its extraordinarily high concentration of xanthones. Now, xanthones are a class of naturally occurring polyphenolic compounds, and they're where things get really interesting. Mangosteen contains over 40 different xanthones, particularly in the rind, and these compounds have attracted significant scientific attention. Research has shown that xanthones possess powerful antioxidant properties, meaning they can neutralize harmful free radicals in the body. Studies have also suggested anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and even potential anti-cancer properties, though I should emphasize that most of this research has been conducted in test tubes or on animals, not in large-scale human clinical trials. In Southeast Asia, mangosteen isn't just food, it's woven into the cultural fabric. For centuries, traditional medicine systems have utilized various parts of the mangosteen tree. The rind, despite being inedible in its raw form, has been dried and ground into powders used to treat diarrhea, dysentery, and skin infections. There's a beautiful tradition in some communities where the number of segments inside the fruit is believed to correspond with something meaningful. The mangosteen's bottom reveals a flower-like pattern, and the number of petals in this pattern supposedly indicates the number of segments inside. It's become a little game, a moment of anticipation before opening the fruit. Traditional healers have used mangosteen preparations to reduce fevers, heal wounds, and treat various inflammatory conditions. While modern science is only now beginning to validate some of these traditional uses, the knowledge has been passed down through generations, a testament to the fruit's enduring importance. In recent decades, mangosteen has attracted considerable attention from the health and wellness industry, particularly in Western countries. You've probably seen mangosteen juice products, supplements, and extracts making bold claims about health benefits. Let's separate fact from hype. The scientific research is genuinely promising in several areas. Laboratory studies have demonstrated that mangosteen xanthones can inhibit the growth of certain bacteria and fungi. Other studies have shown anti-inflammatory effects that could potentially help with conditions like arthritis. Some of the most exciting research involves cancer. Test tube studies have found that certain xanthones from mangosteen can induce apoptosis, that's programmed cell death, in various cancer cell lines. Animal studies have shown tumor reduction in some cases. However, and this is crucial, we need to be cautious about extrapolating these results to humans. What works in a petri dish doesn't always work in a living body. The concentrations used in lab studies are often far higher than what you'd get from eating the fruit or even taking supplements. There have been some small human studies suggesting benefits for inflammation and oxidative stress, but we need larger, more rigorous clinical trials before we can make definitive health claims. The scientific community generally agrees that mangosteen is a nutritious fruit with interesting bioactive compounds, but it's not a miracle cure. If you're lucky enough to find fresh mangosteens, here's what you need to know. Look for fruits with a deep purple, almost black rind. The rind should feel firm but give slightly when you press it gently. Avoid fruits with hard, dried out rinds or those with cracks and oozing sap, as these are past their prime. To open a mangosteen, hold it in both hands and gently squeeze around the middle until you hear a soft crack. Then, carefully pry the rind apart, revealing the white segments inside. You can eat these directly, but be careful of the occasional seed. The taste is best when the fruit is fresh and at room temperature. Some people describe it as the perfect balance of sweet and tart, a flavor profile so unique that it's hard to compare to anything else. If fresh mangosteens aren't available, you can sometimes find frozen ones, though they lose some of their texture. Canned mangosteens in syrup are widely available but are much sweeter and lack the complexity of fresh fruit. The mangosteen truly lives up to its royal reputation. From its demanding cultivation requirements to its complex flavor profile, from its traditional medicinal uses to its modern scientific intrigue, this fruit represents a fascinating intersection of nature, culture, and science. Whether or not you ever get to taste one, understanding the mangosteen gives us insight into biodiversity, traditional knowledge systems, and the ongoing quest to understand how the foods we eat affect our health. The Queen of Fruits reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are also the most challenging to obtain, and that nature still holds mysteries we're only beginning to unravel. If you ever have the opportunity to try a fresh mangosteen, don't pass it up. It's an experience worth having. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the world of mangosteen.